So why is it important for Christians today in a world that's totally out of control with, fanatics taking over everything, the established order being, turned on its head, the boundaries that the French and the British drew at the end of World War I and World War II for the nations they created in the Middle East artificially for their own self-interest. When the whole world is turning upside down, what used to be called good is now called evil. What was evil, we all understood was evil, is now called good. And hatred, the ancient hatred of Ishmael against his brother Isaac, is manifesting all over the world, in Western Europe, not just the Middle East, coming to a local synagogue and church near you. Why should Christians know anything about their history? How would that be relevant to their attitudes and actions in this kind of upheaved world we live in today?
Amy gave a quotation earlier when we were off camera. You want to repeat that again? Something about not knowing our history?
Those who don't know their history are condemned to repeat it, actually. And I was telling you guys that I never cease to be amazed, absolutely in awe of people who don't realize the importance of history. You don't know who you are if you don't know your history. And it's not your history, it's the history of anything that you participate in.
Yes.
It includes your religion, it includes your family, it includes the county you live in,
yes,
the state you live in, the country you live in, and guess what? The world you live in.
Yes.
There's nothing more important than history, and I praise God that I was raised for many years in Manassas, Virginia, where the first battle of the Civil War took place, and that's what put that love of history in my heart.
Amy, I want to comment on what you said about if you don't know your history, you don't know who you are. This, for almost every discussion, my usual answer is, well, I wrote a book about that. Well, I wrote a book about this. You have it in your bookstore.
Maybe we should run and get a copy.
Yeah, we should.
Christian Jews and Israel standing together in troubled times.
That's your latest book.
Yes.
We're selling a lot of those.
Well, here's what I want to... You triggered that. So when you said, if you don't know your history, you won't know who you are. So let me do a little on that for a few minutes. The Pilgrims and Puritans, these old European white people who came to the New World for one reason. The Church of England was run by the king. He was the head of the church. And anytime the political establishment is also the head of the religious establishment, the religious establishment is going to be corrupted because the king is going to make it say and do what he wants it to say and do. So these God-fearing, Bible-believing, Jesus-loving people called pilgrims, they were called pilgrims because they're taking their name after the Hebrews who were pilgrims passing through. They were called pilgrims. They gave up on the established Church of England. They said as long as the king is running the church, it'll never get uncorrupted. We've got to find some relief from this for our children. For our children. The other group were called Puritans. Most people don't know the difference. The Puritans thought they could purify the Church of England. Well, of course, they were naive. Their motives were good. So the Pilgrims, the Separatists, came to Plymouth, as we know. And the Puritans came a few years later up a little bit north in the Boston area. But here's where I'm trying to get to. All of their speeches and all of their writings, they all say why they came here. It's not for discussion. It's all clear. They came for one reason, to establish a new nation that, like the Hebrews at Exodus, would have a national covenant with God based on the laws of Moses.
Wow.
Now, how many Christians know this? Our nation was founded by God-fearing Christian people who wanted to start over, so to speak, start a new nation, not with just the personal salvation, but with a national covenant with God, like the Hebrews had at Exodus, based on the laws of Moses. So in the early colonies period, the laws of Moses to govern yourself as people and as collectives and as individuals, all of those laws of Moses became the laws and the legislative and the judicial decrees of all the colonies. It was all based on the first 5 books of the Bible in the laws of justice and getting along with people, establishing a culture, establishing a civilization, loving your neighbor as yourself, all these things. That's the foundation of America, the laws of Moses. It was enshrined into all of the early colonies' state legislatures. It was enshrined into the Constitution of the United States of America. My goodness, we have Moses' statue as the lawgiver at the Supreme Court. If we can't even have the 10 Commandments in front of the local courthouse, somebody tell me something's wrong.
It is.
Our nation was founded on the laws of Moses in the first 5 books of the Bible. So if we don't know that, we don't have any idea who we are.
If you enjoyed this clip, please feel free to check out the full version in the link located in the description panel below. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. As always, help yourself to the diverse array of teachings located on this YouTube channel or on our website at glc.us.com.